You're listening to the Soulless Minions of Orthodoxy, alternative DVD commentaries. Hello, my name is Josh, and sitting with me in the Soulless Minions studios is my brother Justin. Say hi.
Hello, brother Justin.
Today we're going to be watching the 1991 film L.A. Story, starring Steve Martin, directed by Mick Jackson. So if you're going to watch the movie with us, our sync point is the black point after the Carolco logo has faded to black, which on the counterclock looks to be about
38 seconds.
38
Josh.
seconds. That's on the 15th anniversary DVD, but probably the same on the standard edition too.
It probably is.
So when you hear me say unpause, we'll all unpause together and watch the movie in sync. Here comes the countdown.
I should probably be ready to unpause here.
You might be. 3, 2, 1, unpause. L'homme, la savazevant.
L'homme,
la savazevant.
la de da.
The one.
This is L.A. or something like that. And
Boston, just so in case you didn't know, and that's a hot dog. The one thing I don't like about this movie is it kind of looks soft sometimes.
yeah, it does have a soft look to the cinematography. I'm not a fan of that, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't want to start off negatively though, because that's the only thing I don't like. This movie's great. It's brilliant.
I think it is brilliant. I think it's some people know about it, but I do think it's kind of
I think it's a hidden gem.
a hidden
really.
gem. Exactly.
I don't think enough people know
I mean,
about
look
it.
at this. I mean,
This is good stuff.
you know, the thing about this movie is I think it's a certain, and I think we've talked about this kind of thing before, it's a certain kind of comedy. And it's not for everybody, and that's not to say you and I are intellectuals or anything, and it's like our shit's above everyone. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying tonally, it's a tone and style of comedy that we happen to like and we find funny.
Don't look. Well, to me, it just seems like completely universal. Like, who wouldn't find it funny?
Well, you know, see, that's the thing about comedy. I mean, what movie was it where someone was talking about? It was a guy talking to a woman, and he says something like, you know, clearly you are attractive. Universally, you're attractive. That's not really the issue here. Something like that. A blanket statement that this
Sure.
person was attractive.
Yeah.
But you know, comedy's a different animal, and it's like music. You have taste.
Yeah. The
I mean,
person.
this shit. Do you have any idea how many times you and I have done that hand gesture? And
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, you know,
I laugh my ass off at that part, but not everyone.
I think
would.
you're right. Yeah, comedy it can be subjective. Like the audience, well, the person we have in the Soulless Media Studios didn't like Airplane. So, I mean,
I don't understand someone who's just like meh.
she was meh to Airplane.
I don't understand that. That makes no. To me, Airplane is funny. I don't care who you are, where you're from, how old you are, what race you are. Airplane is a funny movie, but clearly that's not an accurate statement.
You know, Roger Ebert said something about this movie that stuck with me. He called it a masterpiece of tone.
I would agree with that.
Yes, definitely. It never loses that sense of tone, which is surreal.
Which, you know,
I think.
is something that happens in a lot. Take the recent movie Baywatch, for example. I just saw that. And I
did
found
just see that.
excuse me.
I don't
And
know
I
if you should
found
admit it, though.
I found the beginning of that movie, the tone of that changed within the first 20, 30 minutes.
Are you telling me that Baywatch did something wrong?
Well, you know, I don't want to just knock the movie, but yes, it did. It started with an almost self-aware parody sense to it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it started with The Rock emerging with someone in his arms with the giant titles behind him, Baywatch, with dolphins flipping in the background. It's fully aware of what it is. Yet that tone stops about 20 minutes in the movie, and it becomes kind of more what the show was, which was just these Baywatch guys taking it seriously. It's not to say there wasn't funny moments. It was still a comedy, but the tone of parody and self-awareness went away, which is disappointing. But like you said, this movie stays in tone the entire time.
And you know what kind of movie you're getting into right away. I mean, he's choosing to drive through neighborhoods and
the
down
music,
staircases, you know.
The music tells you what the scene is. Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
The music. The music tells you not to take it seriously.
Yeah.
That it is meant to be goofy, and you're not supposed to sit there and go, there's no way he could make it through that. You're supposed to just laugh at the absurdity of it. I mean, he goes everywhere.
I never thought too much about it that he has the Garfield on the outside of the car. So I never thought about it. Interesting.
I wonder how much permission they had, like how many.
But they go the extra step and they have him, waving to people, and they're stopping to wave at him. Like, this is obviously common. Like,
and someone passes him, and he's like, "Hey."
Hey.
That kills me too when he does that. Hey, it's like that one little thing they do is completely ridiculous compared to what he's going through. That's the tone. That's the tone of the movie, that he would react that way, which makes it fantastic. I think, yeah. Come on. Look at that. That's ridiculous. That's awesome.
Harris K. Telemacher. I like the name.
Exactly, it's perfect. Yeah. And Steve Martin wrote this. And
I heard he wrote it over about 7 years.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy in person, Kevin Pollock, before.
Where did you see him?
Like outside of a concert, I think. Okay, something like that. He's short.
Yeah, he's short.
No, Steve Martin. The only other thing I know, he's written books and even other movies, but The Shop Girl is the only movie I've seen that he's written, and I know that was based on the book that he wrote. And you can tell even in this, but in other movies too. He's not just a slapstick comedian, which he does very well, but there's a deepness and some thought to his comedy. Even his portrayal as Telemacher is. This is a guy who's, I don't want to say, he's a little bitter at where he is. He has a degree in this sort of thing, and no one takes him seriously.
Well, he's not a weatherman. He's a meteorologist.
Exactly, and he does know the science of it. He is a smart guy, and he's kind of coasting through life, and he's generally fine with that.
Well, he's definitely coasting.
But
definitely.
when these people kind of call him out on it, you see the look on his face, and it kind of hurts him a little bit.
Yeah.
He has that great ability to go from joking to, to that sort of seriousness. Well, I think.
I wonder how Woody Harrelson ended up in this.
More wacky, less
egghead. It's not a very big part.
No,
not at all.
No. But this is 91, so what? Cheers was probably still going, so he was probably just getting little bit stuff, maybe, in between seasons.
Could be. Maybe they were friends.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have been.
Maybe.
So what would you say is his best movie? This or Roxanne? Because, for a while, I thought Roxanne was the better picture. It was just more rewatchable. But as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate LA Story more. Like when I was young, of course we watched this endlessly, and it was funny as hell. Some jokes went over my head, but it was just unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and I knew that. But I think it's I hate to say this, unique. The sound, typical, but it's got a style all its own. And it's a really smart movie, and funny too, and in a very specific way. And I think Roxanne is a little more broad. I mean, would you say?
You're saying that Roxanne is broad compared to this?
Well, I mean, in terms of its audience, it can reach up. It's a romantic comedy, so it can reach a higher.
I would say. Your statement is completely backwards. I would say this one is more broad, and Roxanne is more accessible.
Well, that's what I mean.
Because
I meant broad for its audience, making it accessible. Is what I meant. This is more of a niche audience.
Okay. Then yes, so, I agree.
So I think it seems to, like movies like Clue, seem to age very well, and it's comedy, even though it looks like the early '90s. It's not. It's not set back by it.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's a commentary on LA in the '90s.
This is the one part that I tend to skip.
You skip the freeway scene?
The freeway scene. I mean, it's only like 2 minutes long.
Open season on the freeway, you skip? Why would you do that?
I don't. It just doesn't work for me. I don't find this particular part funny.
We laughed. You laughed when you were a kid.
Because they're shooting guns at each other on the freeway. But I love that there's the guy. There's a guy.
There's a guy there already.
Yeah, the little foreshadowing. I like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you remember when I did this to you?
What?
The freeway. I stopped and
Oh,
went,
that's right.
Oh, shit.
We were literally driving, and I think we either were at a stop or we're on the freeway.
No, we were on the freeway going
and
like
you
80.
turned to me just on a lark. Like, we're just quietly driving. You're like, shit, it's open season on the LA freeway. And my heart about jumped out of my chest. Dude, I don't know. Do bullets go bad?
It's not milk.
I don't know. Like, just the shooting. I don't know. Something about it. I mean,
It seems to fit in tone with the rest of the movie.
I don't find it unfunny. I don't know. It seems like it went just a step too far for me.
I mean, no, I don't think so at all. I mean,
You cocker.
You cocker. No, I think it fits perfectly. I mean, this is just as in tone with the scene where
The mugger?
the mugger's waiting outside the ATM.
But see, that
waiting
to
in
me
line.
fits the tone. Hi, I'm Bob. I'll be your mugger today. Oh, here. Hi, Bob.
Oh, hi, nice. Okay, nice to meet
You
you.
know, that just works to me. I don't know. Like I said, it's not like I hate it or anything. I just, if I were the editor, I would have said, let's just take it out.
Yes.
Maybe they felt like they needed a faster beat in between getting ready and then getting to the place. Maybe.
I never really thought about it that way. It didn't feel like a drag on anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that Iman?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What's that guy's name with the neck brace? It's a character actor.
Richard something.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a character. He's in a ton of stuff.
For me, it's the principal or headmaster from Necessary Roughness. That's what I'm mostly thinking him from. So
I'm giving an 8. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, this is where I discovered and fell in love with Richard E. Grant.
okay. Well,
Roland. Roland is the. If this movie is a hidden gem, Roland is the diamond inside of the oyster.
he's a good character. He's not a bad guy because and
No,
something
okay,
less intelligent. His character would have been written as
a douchebag.
As a douchebag,
Yeah.
right? But he's not.
He's not.
He's a nice guy.
You
and
like
he's funny.
Roland.
We like Roland. We
And-
do want him to succeed.
That's part of the beauty of this movie is that, yes, like you said, he's not a villain. And you want Roland to win as much as you want Steve Martin to win.
Yeah.
You know Steve Martin's going to win the girl.
Sure.
But you want it to be in a way that does not break Richard E. Grant.
Yeah.
Because he's just so goddamn likable.
Right,
and,
yeah.
And he's so pure,
Yeah.
Even when Harris is screwing with him, he knows it. But he still kind of finds it endearing.
He does. He
You
does.
know? And he's like, "Oh, you're so funny."
It's like, oh, you're so clever. Yes, I get it now.
I get it. Yes. You and I quote him in this movie, and he's not by any stretch the star of this movie.
No. You're absolutely right. He's not, but he definitely stands out in it.
But I've seen him in many things since.
I think for me, it's when it comes to this actor, because the movies that sold me on him, I think more so when I was younger was Hudson Hawk.
Sure.
Because he was the villain in that, and he was hilarious.
Bunny, Bubble.
He was hilarious. I mean, he was funny. And I don't think
I'm funny.
I don't think I recognized...
That's a Roxanne reference. But.
Yeah, I got it. I understand. But I don't think I was consciously aware that they were the same guy for some reason. But anyway, I know now. But in my adult years, I think I've grown to like him more in this movie because maybe once in a blue moon I'll watch Hudson Hawk. But LA Story, of course, is that masterpiece of tone, like Roger Ebert said. So I go back to it a lot, and we quote it pretty incessantly too.
Oh yeah.
It's difficult not to quote it right now. We could do this movie without the. Of course, we're watching with the volume down, but we don't really need it up, and we don't need the subtitles either.
This scene has one of the the best. Let me rephrase that.
Oh, you're taking a class in conversation?
Yes. That's the best line in this. That is pure Steve Martin right there. You know, and I swear to you, that's the kind of crap that, again, not saying I'm some cerebral genius, that would just go over people. You know, because they would just think it's not funny. You know, I find that hilarious.
Well, you just would find it funny. I don't know if it would go over their head. Maybe
Like I said,
more to the side.
more to the side.
What's her name? His girlfriend?
Mary Lou Henner.
Okay. That's Victoria Tennant, which would be his wife. Or was his wife, or would become his wife later?
I think they were married in this.
Okay.
But they're not now, I believe.
No, they're not. No.
Now, they're mentioning Harry Zell here. Would you like
Harry
to talk
Zell.
about this?
Sure. If you have the 15th anniversary DVD, you don't need to know this. But those who don't have it, that edition actually has some deleted scenes on it that have the Harry Zell character, which is
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow, right? Yeah. And there's, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 scenes with this Harry Zell character. One where he rides in on a jetpack.
Yeah, for a meeting with Harris.
Right. And a few other random things. But I guess they felt the movie was too long, so they decided to cut it out. And it was a bit extraneous. They really didn't need him.
No, you're right.
But that does explain, that does tell you who Harry Zell is, because he's brought up more than once.
Yeah,
So
he obviously they intended him to show up because he's mentioned numerous times, and he's built up, and that was the whole point of mentioning him. It was a build up to his reveal. And I'll admit, you and I, being huge fans of John Lithgow, we were very eager to see that.
My name's George Henn.
George Henn. But when we saw it, it was kind of flat.
No, I didn't think it was flat. I thought they were funny, isolated scenes.
Didn't we have a notion that it didn't feel like it fit? It was a little too over the top.
We can't be objective because we're so used to the movie in its final form now. You know, who knows how we would have felt. I thought the scenes were funny. I thought the notion of skipping as a new mode of travel was funny.
I honestly don't remember that.
That was one of the scenes. Like Harry Zell was trying to introduce skipping as a way of getting around, and there was various scenes where people were just skipping in slow motion with that LA Story music behind it.
Then maybe I need to eat my words because I don't remember that.
Let me take you for a hot dog on Sunday.
You know, I don't want him to end up with her because she's too ditzy, you know?
Victoria Tennant?
Yeah, like her character.
What's her character's name? I can't believe I forgot this.
Sarah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, really she doesn't belong with Roland. Because Roland
I don't think she's ditzy, dude.
She's a little flighty. Like, look at the stuff with the car. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Mary Lou Henner's ditzy.
No, Mary Lou Henner's a bitch.
And she's a bitch.
But she's aware of what's going on around her. This girl is kind of
she's from
clueless.
England, and she drives on the wrong side
No,
of
it's
the
not
road.
just that. There's many things as it comes up.
Okay.
That said, she seems more suited for Harris because Harris himself is kind of he's the same way when he's bored. You know, Roland would read or something like that, and that's
no. They don't seem right together.
No, which is ultimately why they don't end up together. But you know, like I said, I love Roland. I want to see Roland find someone and be. I want a whole Roland about Roland finding
a movie
love.
about Roland. Okay. Yeah, I know what you were concentrating on.
I was just concentrating.
You have to wonder how these two even got together because they're so clearly not suited for each other.
Well,
I know it's a movie. And things, you have to have
that's movie logic. You can't. Man, this is so 90s.
But see, there you go. That comes right back around to the fact that she is a two-dimensional character in the sense that she's just a bitch. And so we don't want him to be happy with her, but they didn't go that way with Roland, oddly enough. Now I gotta know you're making it with my best friend.
Yeah. I remember, I don't think I've ever been in a store like this, but I remember clothing stores in the 90s that, Sarah Jessica Parker is about to come in, right? Wasn't this like her?
Yeah.
No, this wasn't her first role.
No, this wasn't her debut. No, she was in Square Pegs way before this.
Square Pegs, but wasn't it like Flight of the Navigator was like her first movie or something?
For me, I don't know. This is back before she started looking like a horse.
How do I look in these?
Yeah. Before she got that reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her. I mean, she's
She's
good.
great in this
you know,
movie. She's fantastic.
It's the 80s and 90s. Was definitely her heyday. I want to say it was in the 90s when.
Well, I think this is her best performance. I mean, honestly, Sandy, your breasts feel weird.
Well, that's because they're real.
A little.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd agree with that. Of the movies I've seen of hers,
Yeah.
I enjoy this performance the most.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to say I don't like her in other movies. I do, but yes,
Sure.
she pulls this off in spades. And she's totally likable. You
completely.
understand.
Oh, she's adorable.
Kind of how
she's,
he gets.
She's bouncy.
Yeah,
She likes. What does she like to do? She likes to bounce.
And she never stops. She's just a walking ball
Thank
of
you.
energy.
Oh, yeah, she does. And they're completely flat. It's just nothing.
Now, I would love for there to have been an actual commentary for this movie, because I would be very curious where, a street sign.
There are two events in my life that
The idea of a character coming across a wise individual and setting them on a path, that's not new. But for him to make it a street sign, I know it seems simple, but why that? Did he drive? Was he on the freeway and saw that someday?
I think, honestly, it was something just like that. He just saw the sign and thought it would, be funny to have a sign be a literal sign.
Maybe
that's what
he saw
is,
a guy standing at a sign and he just thought that could be like a whole thing.
Yeah. Hi.
Hiya. I said hiya. Now, you have to know that they did that on a real board. So I wonder if people driving by were seeing that going, what? What is this? What is
well,
this?
do you think
they closed it, or
down
do you
the
think
freeway?
they just did it on the side of the road?
I don't know.
Man.
Ruach?
don't make me waste letters.
Are you okay?
To this day, I write Ruach on boards just to see if people will get it.
What? Who are you?
I'm a signpost. This also for me is, I want to say the 80s and 90s were the best time for Steve Martin.
Yeah. He had he had Roxanne. He had the Father of the Bride and other things.
For me, as soon as his hair went totally gray, that's when I really liked Steve Martin.
I don't remember his hair not being gray.
He had kind of a sandy, even salt and pepper business going on.
Did he?
Earlier,
Like in The Jerk?
Yeah, like the Jerk days.
Okay.
Honestly, I've seen The Jerk, and I didn't love it.
I've never seen it.
I didn't. I'm not saying it didn't have moments, but I just, as a whole, I didn't like it. It seems like when he got older, as he got into his gray years.
Well, here's a running through line.
How
Daddy is doing. And it, you find out that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So, but you see him randomly throughout the movie trying to figure out what it means.
And what does it mean, Josh?
Sing doo-wah diddy.
Doo-wah diddy?
That's the mystery of the ages?
I had to think of something fast.
Yeah, right. So, and it's the ending title song of the movie too. So,
yeah.
maybe it's just a favorite song of his or something. Who knows? I don't know where that
I don't know.
story element came from. Is this his place or no? It's her place.
This is her
Okay.
place. Yeah. You have to feel kind of bad for her as an actress because she really has the most thankless role in the movie. You get to like everybody else.
But she
except
plays
her.
the part to a T, though.
Oh, she does. She nails it. But
You love to hate her, though. You just do, I think. You just hate her. You don't
I
love
just
her.
hate her.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like nothing. And, think of Lilith from Cheers, right?
Right.
You love to hate Lilith because she's just so cold. But
Yeah.
she's humorous. This girl, there's nothing funny about her. There's nothing endearing about her.
Right. You're right.
It would be hell living with this woman.
Who's Daddy?
Who's daddy?
Isn't this the...
Yeah.
Or
I
is
think
that
so.
later?
There's more than one of those transitions. Nice dissolve. More than one of those. What do you think about him being a weatherman?
I like it, and now that you say it, I'm trying to force myself to think of, if you have to examine that, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, there must have been some other purpose like for him to be a weatherman.
Because,
I mean, he's trying to predict things, and the signpost is predicting things. I mean,
yes, his job is to predict the weather and the world around him.
right.
Yet a storm in the form of Sarah comes into his life, and
Right.
she's completely unpredictable.
Right.
And he doesn't know what to do with
Doesn't
that.
he turn the shower to slow-mo? Right here? Because he realizes there's something wrong. Slow-mo. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, storm
See, now,
from Sarah comes in.
I'm going to bring up Baywatch again, because
Okay.
in Baywatch...
Must we bring it up again?
I must, because I literally just saw it, and they had like 2 different slow-mo scenes where they actually had characters stop and go, my God, is she running in slow motion? She's moving slower. They actually had Pamela Anderson in the same physical shot with other people. They were moving in regular motion, and she was actually still in slow motion. And
Wouldn't it be funny if they didn't acknowledge it?
that's my point.
Okay.
If they didn't say it, it almost would have been funnier.
Yeah.
Whereas this, yes, we do see him turn into slow-mo, but it's just there. Like,
Yeah.
you as the audience have to kind of absorb it and get into it. Whereas
Yeah.
something like Baywatch, which, like I said, it
It's
was funny.
It's joking the joke is what it is.
There, yes. It's calling
smart
attention
comedy
to
doesn't
it.
need to do that.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Bugger.
But see, he doesn't even take his job. He's a wacky
Yeah.
weatherman. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, he had to have a shtick in
Yeah.
order to be noticed.
Yeah.
And that...
turning this weekend into a real weenie shrinker. So I either stay indoors or wear a hat. They came back in.
Here it is.
Degrees that turn the weekend into a real weenie shrinker.
See, I mean, when I was younger,
The toupee report.
when I was younger, I never went to LA much. But now I go to LA for school, and it is always sunny in LA, and it's really annoying. So that joke about the weather, does make a lot more sense to me now. Wiggy weekend weather. Dial mom. Is that what he says? Oh, no. Okay, that was the previous scene.
This is Harris. I'm in right now. So please leave a message.
Yeah.
I've been to LA, a few times myself, of course, and I don't care for it. I don't.
I don't like LA.
This movie represents
It's a dream of LA.
that's what I was gonna say. This movie represents the dream version of LA.
Yeah,
and it is there.
Yeah.
I mean, these places are there.
Yeah.
And I'm no more comfortable at those places than I am in the dirty, seedy parts of LA. I can't stand it. I feel like I'm a country rube, when I go to those places. I feel like Cameron in Ferris Bueller at the nice restaurant. Just totally.
Chez Louise.
At Chez Louise. I feel totally out of place. And I don't like it.
Dial mom.
Say name.
Say
again.
name again. It's just a modern day device.
I do wish they had maybe even gone into his friend a little bit more. The girl we're about to meet.
Oh, this friend.
Yeah.
I forgot the character's name.
Yeah. I don't know. She's kind of a mystery.
She's in 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 at her house, and I think 1 at the museum. I think that's just about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not much.
I mean, I don't think it hurts the movie or
Ariel, that's her
anything.
name.
Ariel,
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I want to know a little more about her. I find her interesting. I mean, look at this. Who lives like this?
Right.
It looks like she had a party or something the night before.
Well, yeah,
but-
because her friend is recovering from the after effects of alcohol.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just
Right.
curious about her, and she goes along on his goofy adventures, and
Want some juice?
what does she do? How do they know each other? That sort of thing.
I mean, could have just been she's inserted for him to play
Tastes exactly
like a shag carpet. That she's just there to.
It's exactly like licking your shag.
She's just there to play off of him. To
See that
is that the only reason?
I guess so, and that's kind of my question.
Like he just
about-
needed a friend to talk to, someone that wasn't Sarah or Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, I guess that's
Or
what it comes down
Marley
to
Henry.
as a character, yes. And for him writing this, he needs someone to bounce Harris off of, because Harris alone just is, I don't want to say he's boring, but even he's bored alone. You
Bored
know?
beyond belief.
He needs to play off of people to be Harris, I guess. Do you think they stole these shots, or do you, no? They
Of course not.
okay.
I wonder if this is really that museum, or if they filmed somewhere else.
Oh, I'll bet you it is.
Okay.
To me, it seems like this is almost a love letter to LA, and I don't think he would do that.
Yeah. Wait, here's my favorite part. Wait. That's you're doing it too
No, I'm
early.
not.
Oh, fine, you ruined it. And he gets away with it.
That would be
This is
hilarious.
my way of keeping.
She calls it performance art. No, wait, I call it performance art. She calls it wasting time.
Yet she's having fun playing.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean about her character. She's just
Yeah.
she's flighty.
Actually, I'm late,
You're exactly on
Why is she
time.
so
but I
flighty?
had planned to be
That's, I
early.
don't know.
We're talking about a half man, half shark here.
Well, you got to have some sort of chromosomal damage with a mix up like that.
Oh, listen. I had this
I'm,
idea.
I'm curious what other people would think of this movie. I mean,
Because you're watching. Oh, the other person in the studios is watching this for the first time.
we have a silent observer.
Right. She's watching it with the subtitles on and our commentary going over. So there's really no way. What do you think of it so far?
15 minutes, then
She's shaking her head. She doesn't like it.
She liked the movie when I showed it to her.
She's shy.
I'll walk.
A walk in LA. Well, you have to say something because people are going to believe you're really here. They're going to think we're making you up. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the backup there. Appreciate it. Some of these buildings are over 20 years old.
That house is Greek revival. Every morning they have to revive the Greek that lives there.
Unless you have
That's
a,
a
really
Tudor mansion, and over there is a
four-door
four-door mansion.
mansion.
Beethoven's balls.
Do you think that joke went too far? Beethoven's balls?
You know, I don't even know, like, is that a real thing or something? Because it's like, that joke is, it's funny, but I don't,
I always thought it was funny, but now it just seems like
it's
maybe a little too bizarre.
you know what?
maybe.
That's kind of like the freeway scene to me. It's just one step more than it needed to be.
Okay,
I think.
maybe. William Shakespeare is buried in
In LA.
LA. Okay.
Do you think that's true?
No, it's not true. No.
Well, why do they have a gravestone for him?
It's LA story.
But why would they do that?
Oh, great. A funny gravedigger.
Now, this is a guy who I'm sad we don't see in movies anymore.
Yeah, he, if
He stopped.
you're not watching, it's Rick Moranis, and he kind of gave up.
No,
on-
his wife died.
his wife died, but he gave up Hollywood to really
be with his
family.
Yeah.
And he's been quoted as saying, I'd come back if I was given like a good role, but I guess he's just incredibly selective about what he's. I mean, if that's fine.
That's cool. I as an actor, I love him, and I
Oh,
want to
he's-
see more of him.
He's fantastically fun all the time.
Oh, he's hilarious. I mean, the guy.
This is Todd and Annette Fleming. They have a small dry cleaning service in receivership. I mean, the guy was an improv genius.
Oh, he
and
was.
He was hilarious with this dark helmet, you know.
He's Dark
Louis
Helmet.
Tully.
He's Louis Tully.
Yeah.
He's who's the Little Shop of Horrors? You know.
Yeah.
What's his name? No. Louis
Seymour.
Seymour.
Yeah.
He's great. He's
It's a great
great.
Blunderman.
I knew him.
See, look, this is kind of like Steve Martin. You know, he kind of slows down, and he has this real moment for a 2nd, and she even calls him on it. You know, like we're having a real moment here. You know, something like that. You know, she even makes a comment like, you know, you drop all the bullshit,
Flashes
and you be normal, and you're being normal, and then that's when he admits, he's like, well, I'm showing off, and when I'm around you, I feel like showing off, which is an idiot.
He's saying it right now.
Being interesting, you know.
So-
Well, I know that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying though, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, that he can shift gears like that and it doesn't feel out of place. It works because I believe that's who Harris Telemacher is. And his wacky weatherman stuff is him either bored or, you know, almost that he's covering his own, I don't want to say depression, but his own
Ennui.
ennui. Yes. Very impressive use of the word ennui, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. Really got to fit Wagnerian in there. Or Wagnerian. Wagnerian.
I don't even know what Wagnerian means.
No one's going to know that quote anyway.
I don't care. Who listens to this?
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Not even the person in the room's listening to this. So turn off the magnet.
Do you think we should really be pre-taping the weather report?
Turn off the magnet.
Why does he pre-tape it, though?
Because he has plans that weekend.
Was his plan to go to Santa...
No.
It wasn't planned.
No,
to go
he
to Santa
wasn't planning
Barbara.
that
Was
yet.
he planning on going somewhere with Mary Lou Henner?
I don't know. We're going to find out. But I know he has plans. He says it here, I think.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, he's, you know what? He's lazy. He's like, I'm just busy. You know, I have things. And
Yeah.
I don't think there was even anything specific.
The weekends are very tough for me to come in, so
Yeah.
busy.
It's his
schedule.
busy weekend.
Yeah,
He,
sure.
he's just lazy. He didn't give
Yeah.
a shit.
Yeah.
And, of course, it rains.
Rains.
There are two reasons for
Did
the
he-
ridiculous
oh.
detour I was
Did he already
about
drive past the sign and it said you should have gotten her? Oh, that's right here. This is where he's supposed
Yeah,
to get her number.
afterwards.
Right.
Are you closed?
Now, this is something where I think the third person in the room, I would
Right.
enjoy their opinion because
second reason why
here's an interesting thing.
Right.
Harris will later find out that his girlfriend is in fact having an affair on him
With his agent.
with his agent. Now, we don't. That doesn't bother us. Like we're offended for him. I'm sorry, I rephrased that wrong. We're offended for him. What I meant to say is, Harris is kind of gonna be fudging those same details. He goes out on a date with this girl in a little while he is still in a relationship with Mary Lou Henner. Now, we as an audience, we're supposed to applaud him. But yet he is, in fact, that's how he finds out his girlfriend's cheating on him, because he's out on a date with another girl. So I'm curious, what's your opinion as a viewer of that? Just as a viewer, and even as a creative person yourself, someone who writes. What do you think about that in terms of Harris's character? Because in the movie, there is no consequence for him doing that. So, Josh, what is your thought on that?
Okay. I just offered the mic and she refused. So I wasn't thinking about it because I expected her to answer. So I see your point, though. I mean, he's being
Hypocritical.
yeah,
But it's not just him, it's the movie as a whole.
Well, I mean, he's being adulterous. You know,
Yes.
he's cheating on his significant other, and
I mean, yes, he doesn't do anything physical.
no,
but
he
he's still
doesn't. But
cheating.
he's still out with another
Yes.
woman when he's still technically with Mary Lou Henner, and I have never felt.
I was at the Hard Rock Cafe last night.
What time?
time?
I never felt that he was doing anything wrong. It never occurred to me that he was breaking any rules because Mary Lou Henner is so unlikable. And
See, okay, you're kind of getting to my point.
Okay.
See, now this is where I wish our third party here would jump in, because I know her thought process on such a thing. Now, but you're kind of getting to my point, which is general audiences forgive him because she's an unlikable character. However, Harris is doing something bad. Now, yes, he doesn't do anything physical with her, but he's not out on a date with her to talk to her about books. He's on a date with her because he's horny and he's attracted to her.
he's just a big
And her
dumb male.
boyfriend's there too.
Oh, he's over there at the bar.
Say hi.
No, I don't want your number. That would be a disaster if I had your
Hey,
number.
before she says it, what's her phone number? Don't look.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
555-2312.
Yes. She says it so many times that he remembers it.
555-2312.
God damn it! Now
All right,
I know it
it's-
now. Oh.
No, I love his reason. He's like, no, I don't want to know your number because then I might actually call you, and I don't want to do that. It would be a disaster. I mean, at least he's honest about that.
Hey, do you know how she spells her name? Don't
Big-
look.
I'm not looking.
Okay.
Big S, small A, small N, big D, small E. Big E?
Yes. 100%.
And there's a little star at the
I
end.
can't believe you nailed that.
Yeah, well.
And a little star at the end. See now, yeah, just to go back to that though, I find that interesting.
Yeah.
That we don't shame Harris
Yeah.
for doing that.
Right.
And
Well, because we want Harris to be happy.
we do want Harris
he's
to be
not
happy.
happy, clearly.
No, he's not. And there she is.
Right. This has been going on since the 80s?
But I just find that interesting that we as an audience, generally speaking, forgive him. Hilarious, this bit right here. My God.
Well, it doesn't draw too much attention to itself like the other.
No, it doesn't. That's
like
what
the
I
other
love
jokes.
about it.
You know, it's
no
very
one
simple.
references it. It's
Yeah.
just how it is. That's the best kind of comedy where that's why it ages well, you know, because it's not a one beat joke, you know,
Thank you very much. How long are the classes?
and it's not telegraphed. I mean, it's clearly telegraphed to you, but I mean, it's not
Yeah.
told, hey, this is a joke, you know, you know.
So why won't you sleep with me?
Oh,
People don't sleep with their
I forgot we had this moment with Roland and Sarah.
Who knows? It might be just like it was.
Roland, that
He's
was
trying to get back with her, and she just won't.
Well, this is the hot dog that was floating.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Do you remember? I don't know if they say in the movie, why is Roland here? She's here because she's a writer and,
Right.
and whatnot. But why is he here? Why is he in America?
Well, like he said, he lives in the valley. But I don't know if they ever say.
Why did they both end up in L.A.? I mean, they're ex
That's a good question.
husband and wife. You know, I don't remember if the movie tells us. Just give me one weekend with you.
Will you come?
Yeah, you can see. Do you think she's really considering it?
I don't know. I mean, I think she loves Roland because it's impossible not to love Roland.
Right.
But
completely out of control. I couldn't stop. I couldn't
I
turn.
think she as a character is largely so unwilling to be introspective that she's not willing to face the fact that she's really not in love with him.
Deeply stirred
And
eyes, he said. Lady, let your
maybe she's bored, and maybe there's a part of her that's hoping maybe it'll just kind of hit.
He's so funny, but he's not doing. He's not goofy.
No.
he's just sincere. That's
How was that? Very nice.
Thanks. Oh,
Look at
like a
his
shot through the heart. Oh man,
I've seen that.
you have?
I've been to that. I've seen that wall.
Okay.
And when the first, holy shit, it's the LA Story wall.
Oh, wow.
I don't pressure you.
It's Santa Monica.
It's in Santa
I
Monica?
believe, yes.
Okay.
And it is there. It's a real thing.
Oh, how about that?
I mean, it wasn't just for the.
Did it still
well,
look
shit, it
very
may have been
similar?
for the movie, but it's there now.
Did it have all was it,
It's there. It's just the whole thing.
what is it? Is it a what kind
It's
of
a,
building?
well,
What kind
I
of
can't tell
building
you what
is
it
it?
really is, but here they're saying it's an apartment.
Well, right, that's what they say it is. But I mean, could you tell in real life what it was?
I honestly don't
Oh,
remember.
okay. Did they have all this stuff out in front of it?
It was during the day, and no,
Okay.
this part's dolled up,
It's really groovy.
and I.
Well, I'm glad they found this place to act as her apartment because it fits.
Oh,
it definitely fits her personality.
100%.
100%. Oh yeah.
See now
he's
truly crossed the line.
Well, see, he didn't kiss her.
No,
She kissed him.
that I saw that. No, but that doesn't matter. He put himself in the situation.
Where it could.
Yes.
Yeah, where it could happen.
Let me give you let me give you an expression.
Okay.
You're supposed to love your spouse or significant other enough where you would never put yourself in a position where you could, would, or might cheat on them. and he put himself in that position,
Yeah.
and that's not okay. You know,
Okay. Well, this doesn't
So
really.
this shit. This is for me,
Yes.
like the takeaway moment of the movie coming up here.
Okay.
I love this. I've referenced it so many times, and quite frankly,
I was right.
I have experienced this emotion.
Do you mean where he goes from depression to joy?
When he's walking out.
Okay.
Yes. I love it. And this is how I find out, you tell me?
Yeah, I know.
I love it. He can't even truly fake being hurt because he's already checking out.
Oh yeah.
you
Well,
know?
he's been checked out.
Oh, I know.
He made love to you. What?
He's acting angry, but
He's acting
he's
angry.
really not.
Yeah, he's not. No,
Oh,
he's
I'm sorry.
not.
What time?
What time? No, he's not angry at all. He's just playing the part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's subtle humor.
Yeah. Well, he finally he finally has
How
his,
long has this been going on?
3 years.
he finally has his out.
Yeah.
This has been
I
going on.
I can't be here.
I
right
can't. I just can't be here right now.
She does look genuinely kind of,
Guilty.
yeah, but only a little.
Just the tad.
Here it is. I love this moment.
Hopefully you're watching it with us so you can enjoy it. If you can hear the music in the background, you see how the note changes.
That I have genuinely felt that in my life, which is fantastic.
You look like a sucker for 3 years.
I only had to look like a sucker for 3 years.
Will you stop just predicting
You
stuff?
see, he said if I could only get out of doing the weather. So, I mean, you could, by evidence of that, he's not content
Right,
doing the
exactly.
weather. It's not something it's not fulfilling. From a bagpipe.
Oh, all right.
But
And this is one of those movies that
Yeah.
uses, what's it called? Amazing Grace?
yes,
To great effect. I know Amazing Grace is in the public domain, so anybody can use it, but only certain movies have been able to use it very well. This movie and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah. I didn't know it was in the public domain. I had no idea about that.
It is.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it'll always be Star Trek 2 to me. The second I hear bagpipes, well, there goes Spock.
Okay. And the little
Said I don't
sunglasses
want to
case.
see your face again.
I said I never want to see your face again. You're fired.
There it is. Light bulb.
Well, that's once.
Weather will change your life twice.
That's twice.
That's once.
That's once.
That's right. I love this.
Yeah, the dong part.
If confusion about your love life is ruining your day, I think it's good to go over to your best friend's house and ruin her day too.
I enjoy that his character genuinely goes on a journey.
Real journey.
It's he a lot of comedies, and I think this movie would kind of incorrectly be lumped into this category as like an irreverent comedy. The plot is usually kind of not important.
It's the characters.
It's the characters.
The characters are driving the plot, not the other
but
way
this
around.
is definitely that look on his face. But this movie is definitely both. The characters are interesting, but the plot is there's a lot of little things. I mean, look at the little story between Roland and Sarah. The story between him and Sandy. His ennui about work. All of these things play into the plot, and the overarching plot being essentially, even though they don't say the word depression, kind of the depression of his life, and him kind of finding himself again and finding love, obviously.
Well, yeah, just fulfillment.
Yeah,
in life.
but it's
Joy.
not it. But I feel that it's earned.
Yeah.
There's a number of things that keep happening. He's lost his job. He lost his girlfriend. All these things start kind of slowly happening, and he does his best to try and get through it, and he kind of really doesn't until nature fixes it in a way.
What do you think about this bit Lidio. This kind of knock on cliche of, this not being able to get into the, the chic restaurant,
I'd like to have a reservation for tonight.
Yeah.
Saturday? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
Yes, in the soft market.
Yes, in this stuff in the low 50s.
Yeah. And there's a little bit part from Patrick Stewart.
Now, okay. Here we
Fourth
go
Reich
again.
Bank of Hamburg. I
Now,
never read that before.
Do you think this scene maybe
Yeah.
is just a
Tad bit much?
just a step over?
It is a little bit.
Like, I felt like they drove it home
Yeah.
with the phone call.
Yeah.
This is almost, I get it,
Yeah.
and it's not that it's completely unamusing, but
It's very funny, but it does feel.
I think they should have picked one.
What do you mean picked one?
Either do the phone call or do this.
Well, I think the phone call felt. Well, this seems completely out of reality, whereas the other things you can imagine maybe happening
yeah,
in reality.
Yeah.
But this is just completely. I mean, the chefs at the bank. I mean, it's just it's a little just it is a little much.
yeah.
I guess you could say like the the open season on the freeway.
Where do you spend your summers? Yeah, no, I agree with you. This scene is out of reality, and to me, that's why it stands out.
I mean, they all really are. I mean, the opening scene where he's driving past traffic is out of reality too, but we accept it.
But this scene almost feels like a dream in a way.
It almost does. It's kind of hazy.
Yeah.
And they had those. It had like a fisheye layer. For
Exactly.
A second,
Have a little gamble.
like a little gamble.
Take you in
No, you can't have the duck.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
We can take you in.
Is this 6 weeks? Yeah. Oh,
8 weeks.
But yeah,
I've heard some bad things about
I might have suggested removing it just because to me it's two jokes together about the same thing,
I know.
and the air is kind of let out. That's why I would say pick one.
I suppose.
What if,
I mean, I can't imagine it without it now. It's,
Yeah,
it's
I
too
know,
hard
I
for
know.
me.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Roland thinks LA is a place with the brain dead. He says if you turned off the sprinklers, it would turn into a desert.
I always like this line from her where she's talking about L.A.
I don't know. It's not what I expected.
That if you turn off the water,
Right.
it would become
it's
a
a place
desert.
where they've taken a desert
Okay.
and they turned it into their dreams. I always like that. It's true. I mean, I think, you make, it's whatever you make of it. It's not necessarily what it is, So I like that. It's just a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've always liked pointing. She's taking that spokesmodel class.
Where else in the world will they have a spokesmodel?
No, it's just totally absurd.
No, I agree with you. I like that too. It's a very interesting observation.
Why do you have to be so snotty?
Now this
Really, I think you're just
this
being
scene
superior. I've met
is a
some
standout
pretty
for
intelligent people
what
who-
Harris is going to do, and it's completely over the top funny, but
With the painting.
oh yeah, I mean I have this in my mind whenever people are in class and we're observing art and they always have something to say about it.
Oh, I know.
I'll always have his little rip, his little critique, his little minute critique, which is completely pompous and it's
And look at it, the onlookers in the back are all looking on like they're shocked.
Like
They
you
wish.
can just make out her breasts. It's like, yeah, I feel emotionally erect. It's like it doesn't mean anything.
I
And
know.
You cut to the painting and it's like
It's nothing.
It's like a swirl of colors, and he's completely full of shit. And I'm like, that's how I feel when all these, when people are critiquing.
That's
Oh, that's
marvelously
marvelously funny.
You have a lot of verve.
Verve. His reactions he's so genuine. That's what makes him so much fun.
This, yes, I know. See, this tells us exactly who Harris is.
Yeah.
And
Well, he just, he said, I find myself showing off, which is the idiot's way of being interesting.
exactly, and that's what he's doing. He's showing off.
It's almost filthy. But he tells this whole story, and
I
it's
know,
like
he's-
you get so wrapped up in it, and you think
And you're dying to see
what it is
what
he's
a great
talking
reveal.
about. And yeah,
painted the blouse sort of translucent.
I have always wanted to find myself in this situation.
I want to memorize
where
these
I
lines
can do this,
so I can do it in class one day. I do.
Pretty torrid, don't you think? Then of course you have
Of course, you have that on.
Because you think he's done, and then he goes back. He's like, no, not quite. They will. wish. Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, when
Let's
I
let
see
him
a
have his
painting
moment.
like this, I get emotionally erect.
Genius. See? He knows that's him showing up.
Yep.
I love that. Look at that. Now, look, that's why this movie is much smarter than the majority might think it is. You know, they might just see him, you know, surfing around a museum and it's goofy and all that, but there's something going on there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what puts Steve Martin in the level that he is.
Right.
You know.
Why don't we all go somewhere?
So I think this is the last we see of this character. I think
Yeah, Ariel.
of Ariel.
Yeah, I
This-
think
this
so.
is the last time we see her.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know more about him and Ariel. You know, le idiots.
Hell, it's hell,
It's the l'idiot or something.
Yeah.
You never get in.
Of course, yeah. Roland gets in. They never.
Roland's a big cheese in something. I just don't know.
Well,
what.
I always thought, like, is it because he's British? Is that why he gets in, or
I don't know.
you know, why does he get into Lidio so easily? But I think it's
Oh,
just
Lidio. That's how they say it. Yeah, but it's spelled.
it looks like
idiot.
El Idiot, but it's Lidio. It's French, right? So,
Right.
But
There you go. See, look, there's another thing where he doesn't telegraph to you what that joke is. You're supposed to figure it out.
with the Lidio.
But it's spelled El Idiot.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's not an accident, you know.
No, just friends.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's fine.
See, we're just friends. You know, she's not. I don't think.
Oh, you mean she's talking about Roland?
Yeah,
That
he just
part?
asked, you know, is that your boyfriend? He said, no, we're just friends. You know, she's. You know, you asked the question: is she really entertaining the idea of getting back with him?
I don't think that's.
really think
I don't
she
think that's
is.
what that meant in that moment.
You think it was her deflecting so she could just be available to Harris?
Yes and no. I think she was also. She knows that Harris is interested in her. He's made it clear to her.
Yeah,
And she was in this instance not closing the door on him.
that's what I just said.
Okay, well, okay. I guess I was putting it a different way, I suppose. But you're right. Yes.
Is this part of the new cruelty? Yes, of course.
Your usual table, Mr. Christopher?
No, I'd like a good one this time.
I'm sorry, that is impossible.
Chevy Chase was in
Part of the
Three
new
Amigos.
cruelty?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, were they on SNL together at the same time?
I have
Yes,
no
what do you want?
Would you like to hear our specials?
Of course, you know, you get all this build up to Lidio, and then you get a rapper as their waiter.
Well, it's,
Yeah,
it's the 90s, you know.
that's true. And they had the floss. I like the floss. Would you like diet or regular? It's the floss, you know? That was hilarious.
my name's something, and I also
So acts.
There must be a restaurant where he's gone to where they did this. That has to be.
With the floss?
No, the singing waiter.
Oh, the singing. Yeah, perhaps.
Has to be. You know, these fads, you know, he's just poking fun at fads and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love Close to You.
I'll take you home.
Did you really say that, or was it just a typo?
No, that's what she says. He even calls her on it. See, she
Oh.
says, "No, I said I live close to you."
Oh, I see. Oh, I never noticed that before.
You really?
I guess I always missed it. That's
Oh
surprising.
no, it was a totally obvious Freudian slip. It's thinking one thing when you're really thinking a mother.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it. Yeah.
It was from Cheers.
So, I promise you'll see me this weekend.
The movie does really move at a pretty good clip too.
Yeah, it does.
You know, a lot happens. That's the point I was making before. You know, is that the plot is not inconsequential. You know, there's a definite series of events, and you know, it's everything progresses.
Well, one of
the
the
plot.
other things I like about Roland is that he, you know, he's still in love with Sarah,
Oh yeah,
but he's completely okay with Sarah being with another guy, alone with another man. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of men who are insecure would not be comfortable with that.
yeah. Like when they split up to drive to Lidio. You know,
Or yeah, right, exactly.
he Harris had to drive with Sarah because he knew where it was, and then there'd be two people in
Yeah.
the car who knew. And the
Well,
other one didn't.
he was right there. He was like, oh, it's perfect because I live in the valley.
That's right. He does say that.
Yeah. So it's like he didn't have to give her a ride home, and he was fine with, you know, her going with Harris. It didn't bother him. You know.
No, you're right. That's part of the reason why we like him.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
And it's not about him being confident or anything. He doesn't think like that, and that's cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Left, it's
I know what this is. I know what this is.
What? They're in the car, of course.
No, this is how Mommy met Daddy.
I didn't lock the car. They're in the kitchen.
How can it get locked? We'll stop it from
Stop it. Are we on a hill?
We're on a hill, but it slopes
It's
the
on the other way.
But it really doesn't. It
No,
is
it
going
doesn't.
downhill.
It is. Yeah, it is.
They should have like tilted the camera or something.
Oh my god.
Now, what do you think the sign is? You know, I mean, is it
Is it
fate? Is it? I mean, it's
God?
It's, what?
Is it
Yeah.
something?
What power is behind the sign? Because it's literally a sign giving him signs. But is it? It's guiding. You know, it's act.
Like how he takes it.
takes
He's like,
it.
"What? No. It's just the.
It's acting upon him.
What
now.
is the sign? The sign, I would say, is a combination of fate. It is kismet. It is Cupid. You know, it's kind of. I wouldn't say it's God. I wouldn't say it's an angel in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, it's, you know what it is? I'm not going to say it.
Don't do it.
I'm not.
Don't
It's
do
it's like Mr. Destiny, right?
Yeah, but he is
Okay.
fate. He specifically says, you know how you have a choice from A to B? I give you those choices.
Right.
He is fate.
Okay.
This sign is...
Well, this is actually guiding him. It is, because it did bring him here, and
Yes.
it's telling him to do specific things.
Yeah. This is
You're right.
not giving him choices. This is him saying, do this. This tells him to kiss her.
Yeah.
I would say this is... Not that I'm saying it's the same thing, but I would say the sign here is closer to the bartender in the last episode of Quantum Leap than...
That's what I was thinking
Than
of, too.
that.
Right.
But he's not quite that. The bartender
Right.
is almost God. Although I would almost argue
Right.
that the bartender is fate or shit.
Well, they never specifically
No,
said.
they don't. But
They left it ambiguous for a reason.
yeah, that
But-
bartender is almost destiny and all of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really answered you, but I would say it's
I don't know if that's an appropriate, comparison.
No,
the
I
bartender,
guess
because
it's not.
he did say that Sam was the one controlling his fate.
no. I'm just saying that the bartender is
Okay.
the signpost is closer to the bartender than it is to
Mr. Destiny. Right. Okay.
But I would say it's as specific as Michael Caine is, where Michael Caine is fate. You know, I would say the signpost is, Cupid or
Okay.
something similar. Because he doesn't just find Harris love; he gets his life on track.
Right.
Guardian angel almost.
Right. I mean, because the sign specifically says, like, I see people in trouble and I stop them.
and I stop
it's like,
them,
how
yeah.
am I in trouble? He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Fantastic. Not a date, just a do. You interested in that?
Now, as we talked about, that they were married at this point in real life.
Bye.
Bye.
I've seen a series of movies lately where the two actors involved either were married or met on the set of the movie I was watching. And I always will remember the commentary to Time After Time, where Malcolm McDowell tells his kids, even though he and Mary Steenburgen are no longer married, he tells his kids, if you want to see your parents fall in love, watch this movie because it's on screen. And knowing that they were really involved, do you feel as a viewer that you can see it? Like, do you see their genuine relationship in real life?
No.
Really?
Not so much. I mean, I think they have
Like when you
Yes.
see the experts and you see John Travolta and Kelly, what's it, Kelly Preston?
Yeah.
They just ooze chemistry together. Those two,
Yeah.
I
suppose.
Can we get the tapes?
Can we get the tapes? I suppose. I suppose you're right.
You don't think it shines through at all, though?
Not heavily. I think they have.
There's no right or wrong.
I think
I'm
they
just
have.
curious.
I think they have on-screen chemistry. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's pushing it through the screen so much.
Okay, maybe that's why they're divorced.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it was just a random thought I had, though.
No, it was a good way to look at it. I mean, I never really because I think for the longest time I didn't even know that they were married at one point. You know, I just didn't know that. I didn't think too much about it.
Yeah, like I said, just a thought. Oh, yeah, okay, this is not where they're going on the weekend. This is where he invites her to that dinner thing.
Oh, yeah, it's not a date. It's just a do.
Just a do.
It's a do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the apartment
From
complex
Bill and Ted's
Bogus Journey?
I was going to say that earlier, but it wasn't on screen long enough.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, it looks
I think
just
that's
like,
it, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to have to check that out.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah. Even though
because that movie looks... I'm pretty sure that was shot in L.A.
Yeah, even though it's supposed to be San Dimas.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were obviously at the Vasquez Rocks, so they were clearly in the area.
Yeah.
No, I used to.
I mean, I was
just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Can you hold on a second? Boom, boom.
Just a minute.
Then grab your heart and squoze it.
Oh, pointy birds. Oh, pointy.
Going out too much. Should we go out tonight? Do you know how the feeling is when you go out too much?
Never really. What is this he's going to? What is it? A fundraiser or something?
Yeah, it's like a private fundraiser.
Okay.
Yeah, because Bill and Ted totally sit out.
Oh, totally.
And they talk about the babes.
That's right there. They're on those chaise lounge back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to find this place and we got to shoot there.
Full service.
Now, she's already acting weird.
She is.
You know,
she's acting standoffish right
why?
now.
I don't get it. That's part
Yeah.
I've never really understood about her. I feel like there's a scene missing because
Yeah. I think so.
like you pointed out, when he references Roland and says, "Is that your boyfriend?" Oh, no, we're just friends.
Right.
Like you said, it's as though she's leaving the window open for Harris. Yeah, and then he invites her to this thing, and then she goes, "Oh, no, well, just wanted to let you know my ex-husband may whatever." And he's like, "Well, then don't worry about it, well, it's just a do,
Yeah.
And she goes. It's not like he held a gun to her head. So why, when he picks her up now, is she suddenly kind of off?
Like, yeah.
I never quite understood that. I felt like something was missing.
And I knew it was a great...
Well, I think it's because he kind of had to talk her into it. He had to. I wouldn't say.
I didn't feel like he really pressured her that much.
No, he didn't. He did it, but he had to take a circuitous route to get her to go.
I get what you're saying.
Of course, it's not
yeah.
a to-do. It's a date. She knows that. He knows that. But she went anyway, so she feels as if.
But she doesn't even want to be with Roland. So
yeah, see, that's the thing.
And she's not with Roland.
She's not with him,
but she's definitely letting Roland entertain the idea that they can get back together. Yes.
Yes.
But
I mean, she feels loyalty to her ex-husband.
Does she?
Apparently so. I think that's why she's...
I don't think so, because she's almost angry at him.
And Ron felt like I did.
But when they go outside, I mean, he kisses her because she's being pissy. Mm-hmm. And I don't get her thing, Oh no, this is how Mommy met Daddy.
Oh no, I can't. This is how Mommy met Daddy.
See, why? Why is she reacting?
Why is she
this
resisting?
way?
Or
oh no, I can't. Why?
Yeah, why?
He's not with anyone. She's not with Roland.
Yeah.
She just agreed to go away with him. So I don't understand.
I guess her motive is a bit lacking.
I wish someone else had an opinion on the matter and would speak up about it, because I'd be sure curious to know what they're saying.
I'd be curious to hear it too.
Maybe if they lipped the words to me, I could have something to go on. Did
he ever tell her that he broke up with her?
Did Harris tell that he broke up?
Did Harris tell Sarah
that
he broke up with Mary Lou Henner? I think that's what she's saying. I think that's what she's saying.
I don't think so. I think she knows it was probably just off screen or something.
Okay.
I don't think that's an issue. I don't think she was resisting because of that, because she just boned him and she's fine. Whatever was eating at her, she's over it. If that was the issue, she'd be not cool right now.
Newsman about anything at all, but all I could think was.
Well,
wonderful.
this is we're gonna get the first use of Enya, I think, isn't it?
It really?
Yeah.
We get it twice.
Yeah, Enya here, and then Enya at the end. Enya was like a '90s thing,
like the thing,
like for ambient music or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So. Just
I'm not even gonna go high like
that's
this.
really how it sounds.
And this shit where they become kids.
It's fucking
Dissect this.
You know, it's like, is it supposed to be like, no, I don't know what the fuck it means. And is it, I always thought maybe it was their innocence. They were going back to to their,
That there's a purity to
their
what
love,
they're feeling.
you know, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I'll roll with that.
You know,
take
this, what, you know, where are they? I mean, it's like this, you know, you notice like the statues begin to move, you know, and this happens, you know,
Yeah.
the grass grows and, you know, they kneel to them. It's like, are they entering into some kind of enchanted other world? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I don't know.
Yeah. And the doves, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
like this with the chainsaw Ah! in the background. That's great. Now I love this bit here, you know, because he's gonna go with her, but then he says, you know what, I can't go
Because
It
I'm
would-
starting
it
to
wouldn't
see
be right.
someone.
I'm
We're not
starting to s-
together, but I feel something for her.
Yeah,
and
right.
I don't think it's okay.
And he's honest with her, and he's like, and she says, well, we can go anyway. He's like, don't you understand? I'd just be using you. She's like, that's okay. It's like, all right, let's go. So, I mean, at least they go under the understanding that it's just for that. You know, it's
Yes.
there's no illusions about it, you know?
Yeah, and that's kind of the get out of jail free card for Harris at this point.
he's
Because
got
like I
this
said,
obligation.
earlier in the movie, he is genuinely doing something wrong when he goes out with her. But now, just as with Sarah in the previous scene, Sarah wasn't doing anything wrong. She's not with Roland. Just as Harris is not actually with Sarah. So he's not doing anything wrong going out with Sandy. However, he feels like he's doing something wrong because he wants to pursue that. And he actually feels like he's being uncool to her. And she gives him the free, that's okay.
Yeah.
I can't. Don't you see? I would just be using you to get even with her. For
Yeah.
going
I mean,
away
even though they're not, Sarah and Harris at this point are not in a committed relationship, they're not exclusive with each other.
Not remote.
That doesn't mean you can't hurt someone.
Well, of course.
No, not at
But
all.
see, but there we come back
So-
to why was Sarah acting the way she was in
Right.
that last scene. I don't get it.
They have a special beach.
And, given that we just saw Harris have a moment of pause to say, maybe I shouldn't go out with this girl,
Right.
do you think, even though we don't see it, do you think there was a moment where Sarah with Roland goes, maybe we shouldn't go?
No.
I mean, you don't.
No.
Oh, wait, shit. Do they have it right here?
No, I mean, there's a moment of pause on her, but she doesn't.
I'm
There's no.
so looking forward to this.
There's no dialogue. She says right here.
Yep.
Me too.
She's not really there, but she's still going, and she's certainly not telling him, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm wasting your time." And she is going to sleep with Roland,
She does, but she thinks of Harris,
and
he thinks of Mel Gibson.
Roland is thinking of Mel Gibson. Yes,
I like this juxtaposition.
of what they're talking.
The conversation is they're doing trivia, like what is Groucho's secret word and who played the Beeve, and
Jerry Mathers.
yes. And oh wind, if winter comes, and he's quoting poetry, and spring be far behind. Who is Howie Tooney's closest friend?
Buffalo Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, layer change.
Yep. Oh, that's the El Pollo del Mar, which is the chicken of the sea.
The chicken of the sea.
That's the name of the hotel, the El Pollo del Mar. Now that I've taken Spanish, I know what that means. Actually, I looked this place up. There's a time when I was considering it because I wanted to go visit Santa Barbara, and I wanted to stay at the hotel. I wanted to stay at the hotel that Steve Martin stays in LA Story, and I looked it up, and it's not a hotel.
What is it?
It's a private home.
This?
It's a private home,
Oh, wow.
not a hotel, which was
Well, dollars to pesos. It's the home of one of the producers.
I could be, but I was just amazed. I was like, oh my god, that sucks. Like,
Even
great
the
for that
interior
person.
or just the outside?
Ooh,
Because
this looks like it could be
this
like
could be
a house. Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Why not?
And they just could have put like numbers on the doors or something.
But I don't even think they do that.
Do they not?
Well, what?
Let's see. Like no.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, those are kind of odd doors to have on the inside of a house, but whatever.
Yeah.
And it does have those little lock things on the side. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
I mean, this still could be inside the house. Could be on a set. I mean, there's really no way to know.
Yeah.
Feels so good against your bare skin.
I'll put your bag in here.
Come here first.
Yeah, do you think he's... Because he was like, yeah, thanks. He was not intending to have sex with her. He was just
He
not.
didn't expect to.
No, not at all, not at all.
He just thought it would be a fun little diversion. Why not?
Yeah.
That, like she pointed out, she's like, you already made plans. Why not?
Yeah, right.
And he even
Why do you
tells
have
her
to
before they
suffer?
go. She's
Yeah.
like, well, this girl's going with her ex-husband.
Yeah.
She's like, well, then just come out.
Share how that makes you feel.
Makes me feel horrible. That's how it makes me feel.
This line always got to laugh at me. Because I'm old.
I'm old.
It might take
me a little
take
while.
a little while.
I'm
young again.
I'm old and it might take a little while. Oh my God, I'm young again! I'm young again!
It's been great
Now,
to see you.
I'm curious what another viewer of the movie might think of the fact that both Harris and Sarah are about to sleep with someone else. Does that affect your likability of the characters in any way? It makes them bad people? Both of them bad, even though they're not in a relationship.
Yeah, they're not exclusive. Why would it matter? So you think they're already...
I love
committed?
Roland. Look at Roland.
Oh my God, they're going crazy.
I have to have you.
Yeah, but they're not committed, so why does it matter? Yeah, but they never said, like, I'm yours and you're mine. It's not...
But see, that as a
Okay.
as the makers of the movie, I think this is why they did. They had both characters do the same thing, so neither one of them has it over the other one.
Right.
Not that makes it right,
No.
but I think that was a very intentional decision, so that no one person is made to be unlikable, more unlikable than the other.
Mean he's not going to go out anymore?
I don't think he ever did.
I don't think he ever
He
did.
could never get a date. And seeing me going out drove him nuts too.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I really like him. Even though he's not so
I
smart.
like this. I like this moment with Sandy. We
Just
get
lying in bed with her?
Yeah, we get what she's saying.
What about her boyfriend?
Yeah, she's not completely ditzy. She is aware.
Right, yeah.
No,
No. They have an
they have an
They
agreement.
have an agreement.
She's not cheating. She
not
is
cheating.
allowed to do this.
And he's allowed to do it too.
But yes, only that's what she's lamenting is that
He
he never really does.
He never really does.
because he can't seem
He
to
can't-
get a date.
right,
But
he
they
can't.
do have an open relationship. But she's acknowledging the fact that he probably doesn't like it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but you didn't even know it was me. Well, I
projected
I projected
backward.
back then. Look at that. He's like, he's
know,
so happy to see him.
There's a bond among men.
I think there is.
I think there is. See, why?
Why is she so mad?
Yeah, he's hurt, but she's mad.
Mad,
And I
right.
don't think that's bullshit.
Well, because he lied. She didn't. She said, I was going away
That's right.
with
That's
my
right.
ex-husband. And he didn't say he was going to Santa Barbara. He said he was doing something else.
Okay.
He's going with his mom, right?
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
He did lie.
He did lie. That's
He
why
did
she's
lie.
mad. Hello.
Do you hear
My
that
damn
sound?
testicles.
What the hell? I never got that joke. Like, why do his balls?
It was
make
funny.
sound?
He delivered it
Oh,
well.
it's hilarious, but I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
where did it come from? Sandy on the beach here. I want to twirl.
Well, you wonder why the water just doesn't float off into space? Doesn't that just say that?
Yeah, I think so. Is it okay if I spin?
Yeah. It's got a special beach down there just for spinning.
I'll run up and get it.
Well, should we go silent when we hear his best quote?
When he comes back?
When he comes back,
Of
so
course,
everybody can
of
hear
course.
it.
I always remember Sarah's delivery here. You liar, liar,
Yeah,
filthy liar,
right here.
big fat liar.
Driving up to Santa Barbara, thinking you're seeing your
I like the
ex-husband,
lighting,
next door, giving it to
the
my
blue.
Right.
It's almost dreamlike too. I mean, you can tell it's artificial, you know, but I kind of like that
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
There's a bond
There's a bond among
There's a
men.
bond among men.
There's two liars here.
Yeah.
But you know, she's not innocent either. Yes, she said it was her ex-husband, but a little clarification would have been nice. You know, I mean,
she's
she
in no
did,
position.
She
She's in
did
no,
say that.
she's in no position to have to tell him
No,
who her
that-
ex-husband is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because when men just break up with someone, they always run around with someone.
But but you know, that's one of those things. Like down the line, it kind of would have been nice had she been a little
She'll be
more
27 in
honest
4 years.
about it. She'll be 27 in 4 years.
So that's why you made love to her this afternoon.
Yes!
No.
I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. And why me in this? You practically broke through our wall. You know how that made me feel, hearing you with someone else?
You didn't even know
Here
it was
it
me
is.
till
You know
later.
it was me.
Yeah, but I projected back when I found out.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, here we
Well,
go.
yeah,
here
okay,
we
here
go.
it comes. Here it
Best
comes.
line.
Best line in the movie. Well, best line from Roland.
Here it is.
Stay here in LA.
Coming. Up.
What would I do if I stayed? How would it
Soon.
work?
We'd see each other, not push it, you know, take it easy the first couple of days, and then
It's not as close as I thought it was.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And if I were to go?
all I know is
Oh, this is a good line.
Oh yeah.
on the day your plane was to leave, if I had the power, I would turn the winds around. I would roll in the fog. I would bring in storms. I would change the polarity of the Earth so compasses couldn't work, so your plane couldn't take off.
Good foreshadowing.
Coming!
Here
Here
it
it
is.
comes.
Here it is.
This is everything I didn't want.
That's much further away than we thought.
Wait, no, it's right here. It's right here.
Okay.
Complications.
I'm hot from running now.
I'm hot from running now.
I don't know why we dig that
It's
so
much. It's the way he says it. And it's so pointless. I'm hot from running. What does it mean? I'm hot from running now. And he says it with a big smile on his face.
I know.
Like he's so happy.
We just dug it.
I know.
That up front.
Fronts. I feel bad for him in that moment though, you know, because he's so happy and he doesn't know.
Now he's broken.
But he doesn't know that Harris and Sarah have a thing going on.
Yeah.
He
See,
doesn't
look,
know.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sarah, yes, she may not owe any one of these guys a specific, like, naming names.
Yeah.
But these two do know each other.
Right.
And they're sharing space. And she's lucky neither one of them put it together.
Right.
Because
Well,
that's kind of fucked up. I mean, I think. It's, you know.
Well, you feel bad for him right now because he knows she's seeing somebody else, but he doesn't know who it is, and he's sitting right next to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's...
And, you know,
yeah.
Roland is the kind of guy that if she had said that, I think he almost would have been like, it was a good game, old boy. You know, I'm glad she ended up with you if it couldn't be me. You know, like Roland would be that guy. And I want to see Roland and put Roland together with Ariel, you know, at the end or something. I want Roland to
let him
find
be
love.
happy,
or give him Sandy.
Give him Sandy
You know?
for a night or something.
Something. I want Roland to be happy. I know there's some move I can make. Let's just pretend I said it and move forward.
Let's forego all of that. Yeah. She is acting like maybe a little too angry. You know what I mean?
Because that's my thing, man. Is she did it too?
Yeah.
The only difference is that yes, he said I was going somewhere with my mother.
Yeah, she does.
And yes, she said she was. She did say she was going somewhere with her ex. However, I got the impression that she was kind of saying to him, "But it's nothing. It's just a thing that I have to do." You know, she didn't have to bone. To Roland? She didn't have to do that. And especially knowing that she wasn't into him.
Well, I mean, she had no overture of love for Harris yet. I mean, they had sex, but I mean that you knew Harris was in love with her. You know, he's very smitten. But I mean,
no, I'm going to stop you on that one because they have that surreal moment when they're both the kids, I felt like they were both in. That's why she's so goddamn angry, because she is into Harris, very much so. That's why she's so angry. But I don't.
But she never said, "I'm into you. I want us to be together." She
I think
never
it was
said
unspoken. That. It was there. You know.
Okay.
And yes, he's like, "Let's go away this weekend." Oh, I have plans. Oh my God, yeah, so do I too. That's what he says.
Right.
Now, yeah, he says it's with his mother, but at the end of the day, so what? Because she's off doing something which she implies is innocent, platonic. He had the best of intentions of going and having it be platonic, but bottom line, they both did the same thing.
Okay.
And I think it's totally unfair that she feels justified in being more angry with him, and that he's the wrong one. I don't think that's fair. I think she's just as wrong for slightly different reasons.
Oh, we're at this scene already?
Yeah, man.
Now, I think you make some good points. I do want to talk about this scene.
Oh, of course.
This is a great scene, really is.
It gives me goosebumps.
It gives me, that's what I say, it makes my hair raise and stand up every single time.
Great.
The music swells, to a crescendo, or whatever you want to call it, to a high point. And the look on Steve Martin's face, it's like because he
at what point?
Well, throughout this whole scene, he looks as if he's manifesting all of this energy, and it's changing the weather. Like he said if I had the power, I would change the gravity of the earth,
change the polarity,
and I wouldn't let your plane leave. It's like, and Enya's music behind it, is just
there's his look.
He's
willing it to happen.
He's just like making it happen. So it's just like you said, goosebumps, hair goes up. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Do you find compare, say, his performance in this to, say, his performance in Father of the Bride?
Okay.
Do you find, when you watch this, do you think maybe, or Roxanne, do you think he was more invested in this and in, say, Roxanne than, not to say his performance in Father of the Bride wasn't good, but because he wrote it because he's more involved?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's really going to work it. Do you think you can see that in his performance?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's. Although I think he was, really great in like Father of the Bride.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't.
No, but I mean, there's a creative element to these things where you could tell it's of Steve Martin.
Right.
It's his dialogue written by him for him to say. It's just it's there. Yes, so I guess you could say yes.
Okay. I was just curious. When they were showing that look, I was just thinking to myself, what's Steve Martin thinking in that moment? And he's thinking, I love this story and I want to sell it and I want to do it, and I don't know. I just wonder. I like that. Their hands on the glass.
And the light shatters.
Yeah. Like you said, it builds to the crescendo.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
But it always ate at me that, he goes chasing her down to the apartment to make it right when she's, like I said, just as guilty.
She shuts the door on him.
And maybe guilt is the wrong word, because, technically neither one of them is technically doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But I think she owes him just as much as an apology. Mm-hmm. And they need to just sit down and talk it out rather than some person having it over the other.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Well, you're right.
And you're right. You're right. And you're
always right.
What do you think about the?
Could have done without the multiple.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of that. I don't like that.
I don't think it destroys the scene, but I just think it could have done it without it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Never been a fan.
Smog and the cars and the restaurants and the skating.
I like this line too.
Remember only this.
Coming up. A kiss may not be the truth, but it is what we wish were true.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's proven to be a good writer.
Oh,
over the years,
he's good. He's
some good lines too.
That was really something.
It was fantastic.
And she just accepts it. This is the first time she's actually encountering and speaking with the sign, and she doesn't,
question it.
No, not at all.
Really.
This is like, how many times has Harris done this?
Well, I mean, he does say, that there's that one quick giveaway line where he when they get out of the car, he's like, "See, this is the sign I told you about." Like he explained it to her.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that was later. Earlier.
Okay.
So she's aware of what it is.
Daddy is doing.
It's a riddle, too tough for me.
I know what it is.
it's totally not this movie.
Right.
But just talking about Steve Martin and, what he is as a writer and a creative guy, there's a moment in Shop Girl, the movie, that I just thought was freaking brilliant.
Okay.
And it was the scene, the first time when he sleeps with Claire Danes. And there's the moment where she's in his house.
And she puts on the...
No,
okay.
spoil it.
Okay.
And she's feeling very overwhelmed kind of by where she is and everything. She's feeling very young, and she's in his bedroom and he's not in there yet. He's walking around the house and the camera starts on her and goes around and becomes her perspective as she's looking out the bedroom door, and we hear his footsteps walking around the house. It's saying, talking to her for a second. Oh, I'll be right there in a second. He's not yelling. He's just like, I'll be right there, something like that. And we're waiting. We're feeling her anticipation. And you hear footsteps clunk, 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 and you think he's going to emerge through the bedroom door, and then all of a sudden he just steps into frame right in front of her. And he says something like, "Are you ready?" or "Are you comfortable?" or something. And I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. And
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that was Steve Martin or the director or both. Was it in the book? I don't know, but I have to imagine Steve Martin was connected to that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just bloody amazing. And my hat goes off to him as a creative person, because he's good. Most people can't do drama and comedy together. He balances drama and comedy very well.
Oh, definitely.
Most people can't do both. They just comedy or drama, but he's all over, He's a musician, he's a writer, he's an actor. I don't know if he's directed it all. I don't think he has.
I'm not sure.
But he's like a true triple threat, just amazing. Here she was, just walking down the street.
So that's the end of the movie, which is also, Stripes whenever I think of that song. But anyway. Oh, they did. Oh, did they now? I missed that. Oh,
well, that's curious. For those who can't hear, apparently Sandy's name was spelled wrong.
Right.
In the credits. That's disappointing.
Well, we've reached the credits. It's a short movie. It's 90 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It really does go by pretty quickly. I think you summed up Steve Martin pretty well, with that bit from Shop Girl. When it comes to this movie, it's very special to me. Mm-hmm. We do commentaries for movies that we like, as anyone would do, but this one is just, I can never explain it to people. Whenever it
is hard to explain.
I just tell them
justice.
I tell them it's a comedy, it's a drama, it's very surreal, but it's funny, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna say to yourself, I've never seen anything like this before.
There's no single movie I can think to say, oh, that's like LA Story. It's not.
You're never gonna. That's the feeling you're gonna get, and it would like it or not, you're gonna say, I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
And that stands up with us, but I love it. I love it. I think it's funny, creative. I never tire of it. We love talking about it, just like now we talk about it for the whole movie. It's just it's great to think about. If this is the first time you've watched it and you watched it because of our commentary, hey, that's great. Pass it on. Get more people to see it. I wish Steve Martin did more stuff. Like this. That was out of the the norm of Hollywood. They took risks and did stuff differently.
Yeah.
But that's, in a nutshell, that's what I have. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I don't. You kind of said everything I would say. I guess just reiterate the tone and the way that this movie was able to balance its tone. That this movie begins with an insane montage with goofy music and ends with this powerful, emotional Enya song. The fact that it does that and it works and it neither feels out of place is a testament to the filmmaking of the movie. And
Yeah, because most people couldn't do that tone shift.
oh God, no, it wouldn't work at all. You might like the scenes individually, but we would go, that totally doesn't fit in this movie. But this movie, and starting with the writing, is such a balancing act of tone that it works. And put those two scenes back to back, and you're like, how is that in the same movie? But it is, and it works 100% in my opinion. So yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I ditto to everything you said. So
Tell her ditto.
Sam says ditto.
Sam would never say that. Anyway, so
as Whoopi Goldberg looks right at him.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
No one ever points that out. That always bothers me.
I never noticed.
In that scene, she can't see him.
Whoopi looks right at...
Whoopi can never see Sam. He is invisible to her.
Yeah.
He's standing next to her. And when she says, when he says, ditto, tell her ditto. Or something, no, he says, tell her I love you.
Tell her I love you.
And she looks to the right, looks right at Sam, and then back over to Demi Moore. I always saw it, and it always drove me crazy because she can't see him. But she looked right at him.
Never noticed.
On a 100-foot screen, it's like painfully obvious.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there.
Okay. Well, my name is Josh from the Soulless Minions of Orthodoxy. Thanks for listening. Good night.
And this is Justin. Good night.